Good morning. So here we are at the wonderful Old Harry Rocks, and what we're doing today on this beautiful late autumn morning is looking at long exposure again. But I'm also going to be using long exposure just by coming before the sun rises and using that shutter speed and using the balance of shutter speed and ISO in order to get the effect that we want to try and create. So I've got my first shot set up here, and I've been taking photographs before now. So I was taking photographs in the dark, and what I was trying to balance is the sense of ISO, not getting too much grain in, shutter speed and aperture, and those are the things that you're always trying to balance. But with long exposure, it really depends what you want to get out of it. Now the sea is beautifully calm today, so crashing waves, things like that, there aren't that many, and what I'm really trying to get out of this is this kind of mill pond feeling, really beautiful, calm day that it is today. So what I've been doing then is I've been taking my images on manual exposure, and I've been taking it on the following settings, and I'll show you on the back of the screen now. I have been shooting on manual focus, and I've been using focus peaking, so you can just about see if I come around here and show you this part of the screen. There's plenty of red on the screen here, and these red areas, I've been through this in other videos, like my manual focus video that I'll put a link up to, and you can see here that this red area is the area that's in focus. So if I come out of that, you can clearly see that there's a red line all the way around this. Now, sorry if my screen's slightly overexposed, I'm just going to take that down slightly so you can actually see the screen properly. There we go. So now when I zoom in, we can see that red line all around. So first of all, I was shooting back then when there was less light on 25 whole seconds. Now you definitely don't need an ND filter if you're shooting on 25 seconds. So it just shows if you come at the right time of day, you can get a really long exposure image, absolutely no problem. Now, I'm going to change that because I'm shooting in manual at the moment, and it's really important to just have a play with the settings and see what works for you, and keep on kind of trying and experimenting with different settings. So, to start off with, let's just check the focus and see if we're happy with that. Now, I could probably go on to autofocus soon, but for now I'm just going to stick with manual focus. That's looking pretty good. Okay, and the next thing is I'm going to take down my shutter speed a little bit, and I'm going to I'm also going to make my shot go to f11 now, just to get less light in. Now 25 whole seconds is probably going to be too much. So as I take it down, we can see the exposure changing on the camera. The fantastic thing about mirrorless is it shows you where your exposure needs to be. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back up now so you can actually see what I'm doing with my hands. And let's make a start. So, 2-second timer. And I'm just going to try it and experiment with it on 4 seconds and see how that looks. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got a really beautifully smoothed water. Just check for focus on the rock, that's looking good. We can see really beautifully smooth water here with some indication of movement. Now, this is the thing, you want some indication of movement there because you want that image to have that feeling of the water moving against the rocks. Now, If you did want to smooth it out further, then the process is pretty straightforward. You don't want to go much past f11. If you go past f11, then you will start losing that sharpness in your shot. You could take it to f13. You can also take the ISO down to as low as you can possibly go. Okay, that will allow then your shutter speed more time. So I can expose this a bit more than I did and get another shot out of it. And now I've got it on 8 whole seconds. So let's just check it's on a 2-second timer, which it is. And we'll take another shot on 8 whole seconds. So let's see the difference. So if we zoom in, the lighting compared to the other one, there's not that much in it actually. It's not overexposed on the histogram, should be absolutely fine. If we zoom into it, let's see what we've got. So almost mist occurring over those rocks now, and a really, really, really beautiful contrast between the rocks and the sea beyond. So there we go. So no filter, just using the time of day, getting that light right on the rocks. Right, so there are some absolutely beautiful details here as well, and slowing down, not just in smoothing out and changing, not just massive sea, but also just puddles can be really, really effective. So again, just been here for a while trying to work this out. I've put this on ISO 64 so I can get this as slow as possible. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it, I've set it to f11, and then I'm going to play around with my shutter speed. Now I don't want it to overexpose with the beautiful sun in the distance, so I'm going to try a couple of different ones. So again, 2-second timer. I'm going to take the shot. Okay, and then I'm going to take it again. And this time I'm going to take it for the sky, because we might need a little bit more colour in that sky. Okay, so when we put those two exposures together, I'll show you the results on the screen. And you get that beautiful smoothed out puddle with the colours in the background. It's all working really nicely. So that's it in terms of long exposure. So I hope you enjoyed that. So it's just getting out there with just a camera, no filters, and still getting those beautiful shots and still really getting a sense of that atmosphere and character that you're trying to get out of the landscape when you're there. So if you'd like to know more about long exposure, I've got a more in-depth video here that you can watch in this link. And until then, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.